the truth.
I'm Jim Price, the Jim Price Show Daily Update. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Well, let's make up the day. Oh, the government did that for me. March 16th. It's a Monday, 2026. Well, guys, thank you so much for being a part of the show. Good to see everybody here. Thank you so much for checking in. Remember, guys, half of your score here in the Jim Price Show is checking in and participating, so make sure you do both of those. Anyway, as we go through our week, this has been another by the way, the reason that we're not hearing a lot of news going on is because the congressmen most have all gone home because it's spring break. But I will give you this. If we didn't understand how important a father is in the home, or how important the head of the father, or the father figure, the head of the household really is, let me go back through a little bit of statistical history, and point out to you some of the things that I have seen here, and that this is going to tie into two stories that we had just this weekend. Now, the sad part of it is this weekend shouldn't have been that big of a deal. It should have just been another weekend like we always have, and we move on. But that's not the case. We have a situation where in Daytona Beach and in Houston, at a rodeo and at Daytona Beach, where you're at a beach for the weekend or for the day, it seems to be that there has been some goings-on. Now, the reason I say that fathers are important, the head of the household, the male role model, the male figure, the masculine that allows for the creative, the feminine to blossom and to explore the femininity, we no longer are doing that, so we've destroyed the family unit. We've seen what's happened since the 50s, 60s, and 70s. We see divorce rates climbing exponentially. We see that we're no longer getting married. We're no longer having kids. We're no longer caring about our country. We no longer do a lot of things that we really should. Now, the reason I'm saying all that is because in Daytona Beach, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of different video angles and this and that at Daytona Beach. What happened at Daytona Beach? A fight broke out. What kind of fight, Jimmy? Well, a kind of fight where the cops got to show up and clear the whole damn beach. Okay, well, that's one thing. All right, well, tell me what's the Houston thing. All right, well, at the Houston Rodeo, this is a big rodeo. It's kind of like a carnival or fair or state fair, those kind of things. So this is a big event, and this event was going on, and there was a fight that broke out. Now, I know that this is hard for some people to understand that, I'm like, well, why is this a thing? Why are you talking about this fight breaking out? How is this even important whatsoever? And I will tell you that I don't know where that sound came from. Gotta love that. Wait, hold on a second. For some reason, my volumes are, there we go. Now I got it turned off. Okay. Now, here's the problem with the Houston Rodeo and a fight breaking out, and Daytona Beach and a fight breaking out. There is only one common denominator that is in exactly both exact same things. Both exactly the same time. They're both exactly the same thing that happened, and one is in Florida and one is in Texas. One's on a beach and one's in a state fairground rodeo. It was black people. Now, I get that not everybody's bad, not everybody's good, not everybody's this, not everybody's that. There's not everybody was a problem at Daytona Beach. Not everybody was a problem at the rodeo. But my problem I'm having with it is that, listen, a lot of this behavior has to do with the fact that no one's ever told them no. They've been given passing grades. They've been given positions on sports teams. They've been given jobs. They've been given positions of leadership. They've been given money. They've been given power. They've been given, and then yet that segment or that part of our society is the worst of our society. So my problem is that even with them polishing up the numbers and trying to change black people into white people so the numbers don't look the same, and that they're trying to protect the statistics, it shows that this is a problem across the board, not just a Daytona Beach issue, not just a Houston rodeo issue, but this is an issue for society as a whole. We really have a problem for ourselves. Now, I don't know what that feels like to you, but it feels like something that we all ought to be really pushing out there and go, okay, what can we do differently? What's going on here? Now, as I say that, I understand that people, we all make decisions, things happen, we get into divorces and this and that. I got it. I'm not throwing glasses in, or rocks in my glass house. I'm just pointing out that this is really what the big deal on this whole thing is. And the sad part of it is that the way that these children were raised and now are adults who are now raising children, they don't understand, because of the ego issue, because of the narcissism, because of the selfishness, the lack of discernment of checking to make sure that I'm on the right side of history, I'm the right side of wherever, I'm not doing things I shouldn't be doing. This is not going to change, because the selfish sin nature of the heart shows that this is how I am, this is who I am, you have to accept me because I am more important. My feelings are more important than yours. And this is this is why we find ourselves in this situation. Hey, Courtney Allen, good to see you. Now that I've said all that with this whole going on of things, communist propaganda film One Battle After Another takes over the Oscars. Now, I happened to flip back and forth between the Oscars a little bit last night, but not very much. Mostly just trying to figure out what the hell I was watching. Hollywood's biggest night ended with a sweeping victory for One Battle After Another, a film centered on left-wing revolutionary politics that took home several of the top prizes in the Academy Awards. The movie, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. By the way, guys, if you have to use your middle name to define yourself, I'm like, if you tell me, dude, I'm just letting you know, as a guy, if I hear a chick or a dude giving me their middle name, if I give you James Lee Price or Jim Lee Price, just walk away. Anyway, I don't know why that's a thing for me. Anyway, loosely inspired by Thomas Pynchon's novel Vineland. Won Best Picture among the multiple other major categories. So this immigration, this One Battle After Another, this movie, won Best Picture. Anderson also received Best Director, while Sean Penn won Best Supporting Actor. Wow. I mean, why not? I wrote this movie for my kids to say sorry for the housekeeping mess we left in the world. We're handing off to you. Oh, well, that's nice. He added that he hoped the younger generation would bring back common sense and decency back to America. How about you first, partner? You first. You, buddy. Hey, you first. You bring back the decency and the common sense, and we'll start talking. Why not? I'd love to. Absolutely. You guys, let's go. I'm all about let's get to the board. Let's get to the table. A film featured a high-profile case, including Leonardo DiCaprio. And so the story follows a far-left activist who is drawn back into political conflict after his daughter disappears. Oh, sorry, I get my elbow to pop there. The film's narrative focuses heavily on political resistance, portraying the activists as heroic, featuring battling powerful right-wing institutions. Its final scene involves his daughter going to attend an Antifa protest in Oakland. Despite the overt political messaging, the film was widely embraced by Hollywood throughout award seasons as a world-class piece of filmmaking. Prior to the Oscars, it has already won several major industry honors, including the Golden Globes, Critics' Choice Award. The Academy Award ceremony was hosted by Conan O'Brien. Yeah, I saw him last night, and he looked like a chick. Like, he looked like, I don't know, his face, like, I don't know what's going on with him. I get it. My face is not to be, I'm not an Adonis or whatever. It's my face. I like my face. I think Jim Price looks exactly like this right here. This is what Jim Price looks like. But Conan's been doing a little bit of surgery, a little bit of work or something. But, man, he looks weird as shit. And it's not because he's trying to be weird. He just looks weird. So, anyway. Michael B. Jordan won Best Actor for Sinners. Jessie Buckley won Best Actress for Hamlet. However, one battle after another emerged as the clear winner of the night, collecting 6 categories. Now, guys, why is it that the left has to go out and create documentaries to convince us through some emotional bend that what we're living in this society, what we're living in this country, is detrimental and going to kill you? Even though there's no evidence of any detriment or any killings going on, these movies continuously show that there is a life-threatening situation in America for brown people, not black people. We're not deporting black people, by the way. And the idea that the left actually put brown and black people into the same category shows you that this has nothing to do with immigration. It's just actually, it has to do with ideology. The ideology of things is that's what we're fighting. We're fighting that. We're not fighting each other. We're not fighting something that's actually real. We're fighting an ideology. And that's what I have a problem with, is that the left goes out, they go out purposely and make all kinds of accusation, make all kinds of stories. And then the sad part of it is that as conservatives, we sit back and try to figure out how to undo or unwind all the bullshit they just said. None of it's real. And I think that is really unfair. I want to call that unfair, to sit there and go, see, I told you were misogynist, Nazi, propagandist, white hate, black people hater, you're ICE lover. Now I got to take that whole sentence and I got to break each of the parts out. Goes, I don't hate ICE. I'm not a bigot. I'm not a racist. I mean, my grandkids are Filipino, by the way, guys. I don't know about that. But anyway, it's like people really have to be careful when they want to throw things out at people because it doesn't always work. It doesn't always fit. Now, I did ask Gronk this weekend. Hey, Curly May, good to see you. I did ask Gronk this weekend about the immigration, or not immigration, but which one was it? Uh-oh, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, okay, here it is. So, by the way, this is where one of their names, the names that they give us with the word Nazi, I want you, guys, I went back to Gronk and I asked this question. The Nazis, at any one time, that their entire enlistment was less than 1 million people that were considered to be the Nazis, the SS. The SS, or the Nazis, were only at one time, and by the way, Nazis were not considered to be military. It wasn't just that group. You could call yourself a Nazi in another country. But those were usually like Nazi spies. The designation highlights how Nazi is often applied to the entire German military, when in reality it was a professional. That was just a professional army to varying degrees with Nazi influence. There was really, actually, when you get down to it, there really was no real Nazis, but to try to find a category to fit it into, there is about 900,000 people that were considered to be Nazis. So you see what I'm saying? It's like we have a lot of people that keep going out here, and we have a lot of, hey, Danica, good to see you. And when we hear things like we hear this stuff about, oh, we had to push back against the right wingers, oh, I'm just trying to immigrate. I'm just trying to be an immigrant. I'm just trying to immigrate. The right wingers, they won't let me. I just immigrate. I just want to be immigrant. Hey, guys. If going through the immigration process was easy to get into America, which it, by the way, by standards, by international standards, America is one of the easiest countries to get citizenship in. Listen to the words coming out of my face. America. Listen, guys, this is not Jim Price making this up. It is harder to get into the Congo than it is to get in America. It is harder to get into third world countries than it is to get. Did you know if they find your ass in Mexico without actually having the right documentation, you've been there, you've overstayed your welcome? They don't screw around in Mexico, but we do. We'll give you an EBT card so you can get all the food you want, and we'll give you a place to live, and we'll give you a cell phone, and then we'll give you internet, and then we'll give you all these other services, and blah, 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 and health care, and every damn thing else you want. The reason I want to talk about Curly May says Canada is the easiest. Well, the reason I want to say that about this is this a propaganda of things is that we are one of the easiest countries to get into, but yet everybody is complaining about they even have to do any work to be an American citizen. That's where I was punchlining this too, was the fact that people come to America, which has probably honestly, it is the most upwardly mobile country on earth, literally takes almost no effort. In fact, some organizations, depending on how you get enrolled into them, some organizations will do all the work for you if you just let those crazy white ladies do it for you. But a lot of this comes down to what I really started out with is Houston and Daytona had a huge fight break out because black people were there. Then we've had, last week, I think it was 7 separate, listen to me, stop skimming over this. Last week, there were 7 terrorist attacks in America. Where's the... Let's put a boot in your ass. It's the American way. Where are we not, Statue of Liberty is shaking her fist. Come on, right? Oh, Toby Keith's song. We had 9/11. Suddenly we shut the whole country, the whole world down. We all want answers and everything's going crazy. Suddenly we're invading another country. We had 7 terroristic attacks on American soil last week, just all last week, 1 week. Nobody's saying anything. When all the house paid mortgages, rent, food, clothes, all the tax dollars, approximately, I think it was $5,000 a month. Oh, my God. Oof. Curly May says, when you land here, you get $82,000 right off the start. What? I get $82,000 to go to Canada? I don't know what I'd do with $82,000, but I'm sure I could spend it. When we think about how hard it is to get in America, which obviously just coming across the border, fly into Canada, walk across the border. I mean, I don't know, just go to Mexico and swim across, whatever you want to do. I mean, a lot of this stuff, guys, it's really splitting hairs with me. Yet, people are complaining about the work that has to be done to actually get citizenship. Now, I'm going to get down in the middle of something here for a second, and this is going to get real touchy because a lot of people want to take turns being on whichever side they want. But I want you to listen to this. And I think what's happening here is I think a little bit of this is purposeful, even with Trump. I think Trump is doing this so that he can get people to pay attention to what things are really going on around him. So, Megyn Kelly responds after getting slammed by President Trump for her disgusting comment on Mark Levin, and it quickly backfires. Former news anchor Megyn Kelly is not letting getting nuked by President Trump stop her from dialing up her feud with legendary radio host Mark Levin. Now, guys, I have always thought of Mark Levin as a constitutionalist. 10, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, I said the same thing about him then as I say now. You know, he's a great constitutionalist. He took a lot of things from the point of Constitution, and that's what I always said about Mark Levin. But I could not. Guys, I couldn't listen to the guy. His voice was just like, it was just too high up in here. I don't know. Something about his voice and shit just got to me, right? So Levin has had a month-long public feud with other conservative podcasters, including Megyn Kelly, Jack, Steve Bannon, and Tucker Carlson. The barb trading with Kelly came to a head on Sunday when Kelly called Levin micropenis and suggested that she easily triggered him because of his micropenis. Well, micropenis Mark thinks he has the monopoly on lewd. He tweets about me, obviously, in the crudest, nastiest terms possible, literally more than some stalkers I have had arrested. Trump responds by taking Levin's side. Now, again, I am not a Levin. I have a picture with Mark Levin. I've met him. He's actually taller than I am. I was kind of surprised by that for some reason. But I'm not a fan. I think, and especially with this whole Judaism thing, I think he went way off the wrong end on this. Again, remember, save Israel to last. There's something about this. I don't know. Something's coming out of this. I want to watch this to see how it plays out. Those that speak ill of Mark will quickly fall by the wayside, as do the people whose ideas, politics, and footings are not sound, Trump wrote. They are not MAGA, I am, and MAGA includes all... I'm sorry. Let me read that again. They are not MAGA, I am, and MAGA includes not allowing Iran, a sick, demented, and violent terrorist regime, to have a nuclear weapon to blow up the United States of America, the Middle East, and ultimately the rest of the world. Now, by the way, guys, they don't have enough drones to really take on what we're doing. You think that their nuclear missiles are going to be something that we need to all worry about suddenly? Trump, I know why you're doing this. I know you're trying to do it for the argument of being in Iran for the right reasons, and you're doing it because you're trying to let the Armenians take over and get rid of the Ayatollah's influence, the Muslim influence over the government. I get what you're doing, Trump, but just say that. Don't give me this bullshit, brother. Okay? Let's get back to it. So where he's talking about the nuclear weapon to blow up the United States, America, the Middle East, and ultimately the rest of the world. MAGA is about stopping them cold, and that is exactly what we're doing. I don't like the fact that he decided to throw MAGA in on this. That's not what we're doing. This is not a MAGA moment, Trump. You're doing this because you want to get rid of the Muslim influence of the government. If you say this is a MAGA thing, then you really are screwing it up for all of us. And this is why they have the ability to tear us apart. MAGA is about stopping them cold, and this is exactly what we're doing. God bless our great military, which I have rebuilt since the beginning of my first term to achieve everlasting peace through strength, make America great again. After learning of Trump's post, Kelly did not only double down on her vile comment, which again, see, this is where we're all taking sides, right? Gateway pundits taking a side that, she made a vile comment, right? So this is where we're going to go. She also claimed Levin had made several misandrist attacks against her. Misogynist. Micropenis Mark Levin is such a small man, he had to go beg the president for a pat on the head in the middle of a war to make himself feel better. Well, she wrote it. So, this other one mean tweet about him follows his 11 nonstop personal attacks on me. Just like all feckless weakling bullies, Micro can dish it out, but he can't take it. After just one post putting the so-called great one in his place, he ran crying to Trump. The tweet quickly backfired, with users ripping Kelly for her classless tirade. But see, here's my problem. I don't think she's wrong. I think what we're seeing in this whole idea of this unwavering thing for the whole idea of just Israel first, that's where you got me all screwed up. Because if you look at what we're actually talking about and the way that they're talking about things, is this is Israel first, making sure that Israel is fed first, Israel is protected first, Israel's ideology is first, and I don't agree with that. So, did you know Argentina President Terra, whatever you call them, is a BB brother? Oh, a BB's brother? I did not know that. Oh, by the way, there has been an absolute hysteria across the internet that BB Benji has been executed by the Iranian missiles that came into his home. And there has been reports that, no, that wasn't BB, that was his brother. And then there was these other photos, these other videos. Guys, this is what I want you to do. Look at me for a second. There's a video of supposedly BB grabbing a cup of coffee. He's like this. He goes, like, he shows his hand, and he's got the coffee cup, and he's showing his hand. He's doing this whole thing like this. And then he takes a drink of it. And guys, this is why I know it's AI. First of all, the water or the coffee in that cup, it was just taking the sides, like it had some surface tension on there, like there was a special domed lid on it. Maybe like the iron dome that Israel has on it, right? And if this latte or whatever he had was doing this, but if you saw inside the foam, there was a little bit of you could see the foam where they kind of pulled back on it, where there was the dark around the edge. It can make those little different pictures and stuff inside your foam. When they do the little wee thing to make your coffee special. Here's how I knew it was AI, and nobody was talking about this. First, the water was doing some weird shit in there that didn't belong to physics, but the other one was this. He takes the cup, and you could see the little line of the foam thing going this way, right? And there's a little thing there, and he goes, like a big, like a Pepsi commercial or, doing something. But when it showed the cup, there was no lip mark here, and there was no foam on his lip or anything up here where he had to do a little bit of that. So I don't know if the guy's alive or dead, but a lot of what they're trying to show us with this thing where he's like, oh, see, I'm alive, here's my hands, because the video they had just sent a few hours prior to that, he had 6 fingers on his right hand. He's supposed to be dead now. Yeah, so I don't know. So that the problem is they're saying, oh, no, he's alive, he's not alive. Yeah, he is alive, he isn't alive. I don't know. But it gets old, doesn't it? This gets old. These games of what is real, what isn't. What? Okay. Do you guys really, listen to me. Listen, just a second. I'm going to ask you a quick question here. Do you guys really, if they just came out and said, hey, we've lied to you about your education, we've lied to you about the history of the world, we've lied to you about money, we've lied to you about medical, and we're probably going to continue to keep lying. You're going to have to be kind of good about it, catch us in our lies, but we're just going to keep doing this. Would you guys actually quit your government if they just bother to tell you the truth? Just say, hey, we lie. It's your job. Figure out what it is, and maybe we'll give you some clues. My point is that this just keeps happening over and over again. But again, we're having the Israel first conversation. Now, there is a article out right now that Cuba's electrical grid has suffered an ultimate collapse. Maybe this is the 10 days of darkness we all referred to, that we all thought was going to be ours after the public service announcement, the PSA that would go out and then we'd hear, we have taken over the earth. We are now your leaders. Bend the knee. Oh, thank you. Oh, that's what we were all waiting for. Cuba's electrical grid has suffered a complete collapse as the Trump administration prepares to take action on the island country. Cuba's electrical grid has suffered a complete and total collapse. This is according to the country's power operator. It's the first nationwide blackout since the U.S. effectively shut off the flow of oil to Cuba, she said. Well, that's nice of him. Not just USA, also other countries that continue to send money, like Canada. Oh, yeah. Total disconnection of the national electrical power system has occurred. Restoration protocols are beginning to be implemented. They're beginning to be implemented? Shouldn't you always be at the point of you thinking it's already collapsing at all times and there's always a team ready to go right there already doing the work to turn it back on? Don't you have fail-safes, cutbacks, redirections? You don't have a grid? President Trump told reporters on Sunday evening that he will finish dealing with Cuba soon. Cuba is a failed nation, he says. Cuba has also wanted to make a deal. So we're talking to Cuba, but we're going to do Iran before Cuba. I've been waiting 50 years for what's happening with Cuba, so I think something will happen with Cuba pretty quick. You know people who have been people who have been waiting 50 years to hear this story with Cuba. This comes as the Department of Justice is preparing to charge communist Cuban leaders in cases related to drugs or violence. The Justice Department is preparing to indict Cuban leaders as President Trump says the island country is going to fail. Wow, that's a lot. No Fed Bank Cuba either. Curly May, yeah. Danica says, and yes, I would quit if I could, but if you don't let them steal your taxes, they don't take your freedom. Well, Danica, that's where you guys got to figure out why you want to pay into the system that is killing babies globally and killing yourself and others too. I don't know, somewhere along the line, guys, you got to figure out what you pay your money into. And don't give me that it's your job to pay your taxes. It's not. It's not how that works. There's a lot more morality to what we're talking about here. The white-haired lady who is the chief of staff for Trump, who has now been seen with her everywhere he goes, especially in public, she is always to his left. Every time he has been in public, she is just to his left. When he was sitting at the round table today, she was just to his left. When he was meeting the soldiers, who came back from battle, she was standing to his left again, over and over again. Well, she has come up with a diagnosis of breast cancer, which that is, a sad deal. But we all know ways we can get rid of cancers and other types of parasite taking overs in the body. We can take over those parasites, and then we don't have those parasites in our body, and then we don't have that cancer. Now, there's some information coming out about the goings-on with the SAVE Act, and I don't know what to tell you on that. I have a second here. I got to cough for a second. Hold on. Excuse me about that. Apologize. Now, the SAVE Act is going to be a real particular problem for us going forward, because the real thing is that it's going to be done by the military. I have to stop for just a second, guys. I really do here. Hold on. I apologize. Let me see if I can get something else pulled up here that you guys can listen to. If there's another interview or something I can do. Oh, we can do this one. We'll listen to Mark Warren talk about how ICE is the reason that we have terrorists in our country, or the rise in terrorism. This is. Oh, it's gonna be a YouTube clip, and it will be clipped out of my show because YouTube will not let them. God, you can't play anything from YouTube on here at all. Oh, let me give you this real quick. I guess that cough went away. Sorry. I guess I don't need to run. U.S. intelligence suggests that Iranian Supreme Leader is gay. Now, I don't know if you know anything about the Muslim religion or anything like that, but they'll kill your ass in a second for being gay. Whether you're their kid, their relative, their neighbor, their whatever, they will kill you. And this is what I understand why all these LGBTYQs are all out there protesting for Palestine, because they'll kill you. And this is really kind of funny, but yes, it looks like we will sit and wait. Oh, I appreciate that. Just go get a drink or whatever. Take care of yourself. Well, I do appreciate that. But yeah, this whole idea that their supreme leader is actually gay, according to the intelligence agencies that have been monitoring things going on the ground, it's kind of an oxymoron, I suppose, of effect. But wow, it's crazy. But anyway, going back to the whole the SAVE Act. The SAVE Act. What the problem with it is that it's not whether you show. Guys, listen. SAVE Act is not about ID. It is not about ID. It has nothing to do with ID. It has nothing to do with citizenship. It has to do with the fact that the military is going to go in and they're going to purge all the voter rolls where they're able to connect between Social Security numbers, citizenship, voter registrations, and driver's license. They're able to cross-reference all those, and if you're not in there in the right way, you get booted. That is why the Save America Act is not going through. That is why that we're having these issues. So this is what, guys, look, this is what they do, the Trojan horse of things. Oh, you can't get an ID because you're a black person. Oh, if you're a brown person, you can't get IDs. It's just the system is so complicated. Now, guys, I've told you guys this in the past, and we've had the voter registration thing 2 years ago. We had it 4 years ago. We had it 6 years ago. We had it 8 years ago. I've told you guys over and over again, this is what they do. They call black and brown people, Mexicans, Hispanics, Spanish, Middle Eastern, black people, whatever you want to call it. They say that they're too stupid to get online and be able to do their registration. But by the way, guys, when I did my voter registration, it was done when I got my driver's license. But I can go in there in about I could probably get on there. I wonder if I could do it right now. I wonder how long it would take me. Let's see here. State. I'll even try to kind of spell it out so I can really take my time. Okay, KAASAS, voter registration. Okay. State of Kansas voter registration. Voter information, voter registration online. Okay. Now I put in State of Kansas voter registration. I spelled it all the way out. It's kdor.kansas.gov. Online voter registration. Begin your online voter registration application. Oh, clicked it right there. Are you a United States citizen? Yes. Are you 18 years old? Yes. Are you a resident of Kansas? Yes. And then have you been? No. So that's how long it took me to get to the page where I just go ahead and register myself. And they said people can't do that. What about? Oh, hold on a second. Maybe I'm off here. Hold on. Maybe it's when you're on your phone it takes longer. Hey, what's up, David Glovin? Good to see you. All right, let's see here. Let's see. Let's see if I can do this here. Voter registration, state of Kansas. See, I even did speak to text on that one, so I didn't even spell it out. I didn't have to type anything. Oh, right here, very first one. Let's see here. Voter registration online. Yeah, it's right here. Register to vote. Yep. Exact same questions. It's like, I wonder why they're saying it's so hard for black people to do this. Does that mean that they're just really racist? They don't think that black people have the ability to get online? I mean, they can get on their online to fill in for food stamps, right? You can do that. See, this is what I'm talking about. Why do we have other people that are able to go in and say some really stupid shit? I mean, really stupid shit about other classes of people. Why is that okay? Why is it okay for that to happen? They can say black people don't know how to get on the internet. Indians and Native Americans and Pakistanis, Iraqis and Australians, they don't know how to get on the internet. They can't do it. They can't, when they come here, they don't know how to get on the internet. Isn't that crazy? But yet but that's acceptable. Okay, they can say that, right? That's acceptable. They can say that any way they want, right? That's what they're saying, right? They can say that about black people and Asian people and Mexicans and Hispanics and Iranians and whatever, right? They can say that. That's okay for them to say because they're on their side. Is this how we're doing this? That because they're on their side, they can run their mouth about like that? I don't get that. I don't get it. I mean, you just go out there and say, hey, you're stupid. You can't vote. And then people vote for them. People vote for them to say that to them. See, that's the part that really kind of rubs me out. It's like, okay, wait. You vote for people that call you stupid, that you can't. So, if they're able to say all those things and do all those things, then why? I mean, I don't know. Do we get to do that too? I don't know. It's kind of a question. It's kind of stupid, isn't it? Brenda says they're stupid. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm the stupid one. Maybe I need to. Dave says lock it up on Facebook, but might be the weather. Yeah, we've had quite a bit of wind here the last couple of days. It's been pretty rough here in Kansas. The wind has been just howling. Yesterday was just I just didn't go outside because of it. It was just so much. And then today it's still yesterday was warm but super windy. Today it's super chilly. And then the wind is not as bad. But then tomorrow, hardly any wind, and it'll be in the almost 70 degrees. So it'll be great. Oh, she says, Curly May says the upper class gets to do that we just get to go to jail. Well, that doesn't sound fair. That's not fun. Anyway, all right, well, it just drives me crazy that this double standard of things, right? All right. Let's get back to the news of the day here. Now, have we not talked about some of this stuff that keeps getting spilled out into the mainstream media of things? There are still leaks coming out of the Pentagon. There's still leaks coming out of the White House. There's still leaks going out to certain media groups. And that, to me, is absolutely still amazing. The president's over the weekend, Trump said that he turned down a deal with Iran to end the war, saying the terms are not good enough yet. However, Iran's foreign minister told CBS on Sunday, well, that's nice that CBS has connections with the Iranian foreign minister while we're battling them. We never asked for a ceasefire, and we have never asked even for negotiation. We are ready to defend ourselves as long as it takes, he continues. And this is what we have done so far. We continue to do that until President Trump comes to the point that this is an illegal war with no victory. Now, why is it? Why is it that the Iranian foreign minister Abbas Arkashashar, whatever his name is, how is it that he can say, now listen to this. We continue to do this until President Trump comes to the point that this is an illegal war with no victory. Why would a Iranian foreign minister used the word illegal war when talking about what Trump is doing unless he's being primed by the other side. CBS. Democrats. Why is he using the word illegal war? Why is it illegal? I mean, if I'm bombing your country, what do you give two shits whether my country thinks it's illegal or not? Unless you are being primed from the inside. Do you see how that works, guys? Do you see how they tell on themselves? This is right here in front of you. And there are, people being killed only because President Trump wants to have fun. That's this dude's words. The Hill's Julia Manchester asked the president about Iran's claim, and Trump went off on Iran for pushing disinformation and using AI-generated propaganda. Iran has resorted to using AI photos and videos to propagate narratives of mass support for the regime and show fake military strikes against one of the USS Abraham Lincoln. On Saturday, Trump slammed the Wall Street Journal for reporting 5 Air Force refueling planes hit in Iranian strike. God, these people just don't. Why do you do that? And okay, listen, I don't know why that these other agencies are able to do this. I don't get that, where they run out with this bad information, and then they just get away with it. I don't understand is there errors and omissions? How did they get away with this? Anyway, in actuality, the base was hit a few days ago, but the planes were not struck or destroyed. 4 of the 5 were virtually no damage and are already back in service. 1 had slight more damage, but will be in the air shortly. None were destroyed or close to that. As the fake news said in the headlines, the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, and other low-life papers and media actually want us to lose the war. Their terrible reporting is the exact opposite of the actual facts. They are truly sick and demented people that have no idea the damage they cause the United States of America. Fortunately, as proven by our great and conclusive election and the win of 2024, the people of our country understand what is happening far better than the fake news. So it goes on to say here, it says Trump made similar comments to the reporter on Air Force One, adding Iran is known for a lot of fake news. They deal with our fake news, and I actually think it's pretty criminal because our media companies, who have no credibility whatsoever, are putting out information that they know is false, and this is a dangerous thing for the country. And guys, again, whether you like Trump or not, whether you like the war or not, but don't go out there and talk about how we're not doing this. That right there is actually very, very detrimental. Just like the fact that they actually can show that people will stop going to the polls on the West Coast when they start announcing the closing of polls on the East Coast. Did you know that? That's a very, very common thing. A lot of people will not continue voting if they think their person is ahead. On the West Coast, if they think their person's ahead, they'll stop voting. They will not go to the polling stations. It's human nature. He continued, they could be in serious jeopardy, frankly. Manchester, you mentioned that Iran wants to make a deal. However, earlier today, we heard that the foreign minister say that they never said they wanted to make a deal and that they'll do whatever it takes to defend themselves. Trump then says, what they tell you and what they tell the public, I just put out a truth about this disinformation. I assume most of you saw it. They used AI. They said they attacked the USS Abraham Lincoln, one of the largest ships on Earth, an aircraft carrier, and they show pictures of it burning. It was never attacked. It was never burning. The Wall Street Journal put out a false story with 5 of our big, beautiful tankers that we need to feed the planes, to get the gas, jet fuel, hundreds of thousands of gallons of gasoline, that they were all essentially destroyed. See how Trump talks and gets all going on stuff. But this is, again, where if we're going to do this stuff, guys, we do have to be careful about the narrative that we think we're doing. When we push things like this out and we say it wrong in that way, it's not good. This is really bad for us. It is very time consuming that we have to go back and unwind all these things the way we do, and we shouldn't have to do that. That's absolutely bad. That's bad form, right? Bad form. All right, guys, that's gonna be about it for me. Good to see you. Thank you, Dave Glevin, for being over until it froze on Rubble. I will catch the post after 6 p.m. somehow. Dave Glevin, appreciate that, buddy. Let's, make sure to like, share, comment on all the different platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Rumble, all those different ones out there. Anywhere you guys see the podcast, like, share, comment. Go to the other ones, too. Like those and share those. We have to beat the algorithm. All right, guys. It's been pretty cool seeing everybody out there. Today, I am not sure about my travels this week. There has been some things come up over the weekend. Whether I will be traveling on Thursday or Friday, we'll have to see about that. I'm not sure if we're going to make it. There's just logistics with the health fair and the location it was at. So, meaning there's hotel rooms available. All right, guys, thank you so much for everything you guys are doing out there. It's been awesome. So remember the 10% we do for our neighbor, community, city, county, state, the federal government. The more you do for them, the less to do for you. Learn how to be selfless and not so damn selfish. The world will be a far, far better place. Remember, hold the line, hold fast, do not give up, do not give in. We'll win. I promise, make a promise I can't keep, guys. You've always been the answer out there. Remember that Constitution that limits the government? Yeah, that's your job to make sure you keep up with that. You remember that little hemp paper? That's your contract. Get out there and get it done. Dave Glevin, you're doing a great job, man. Don't worry about it whatsoever. Get out there, give me the thumbs up, like, shares, all that good stuff, guys. All right, that's going to be about it for me. Anything you guys need from me, get a hold of me, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I'm Jim Price, the Jim Price Show Daily Update. You guys all be good to each other out there, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.